There we go. There we go. All right, we was having like serious problems, but it was cable because that happens. That happens. Okay, now we should be good. All right, gang. Anyway, welcome to the party. Let's get it done. It is just doing all things it's not supposed to do, but you know what? We're here. Let me power this up. All right, so I wanted to have this quick conversation because this let's just call it the hard habit to break. This is the one that has everybody like all for klimped. So I'm gonna give myself a clean start because, as you know, I'm gonna chop this beginning part, and then we'll do Q&A right after this, and we'll make it rock. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Okay. Yo, let me just check something. Go in here. No, not you. Not you. I want to do this. Bingo, bango, pickle mango. Everything looks gravy. The audio sound okay to you guys? You guys let me know before I start this. My headphones is a little bit hot, but we can make that work. We can make that work all together. You like that? You like that, LWG? You like that? Uh, why does it sound odd to me? Something sounds missing. What is going on? No need, no need. That is that. I'm seeing comments coming in. They're just a wee bit slow. There you go. Keely got freaking jokes. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let it be. I will fix it later since nobody's answering my question. Well, if you think that, Jeremy, you're already wrong. You're absolutely already wrong. And so that's part of the problem. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna give up. I quit. I'm gonna let it. Thank you, Paul. Damn, that took fucking 20 minutes. Thank you, Paul. Everybody else just deaf and ignored what I said, but we'll do it anyway. Okay. So breathe it out. Creating YouTube content is one of these things where everybody and their mother wants to be the best. And sometimes it's not about directly being the best, it's being the best you. I think one of the biggest problems in the conversation is when people say, what is the best X? What is the best Y? What is the best Z? They're hearing it from the perspective of a person saying what's the best for them. They haven't taken a single second to figure out what's the best for themselves. And what that means is if you are going to YouTube to get some creator, myself included, to tell you to buy this particular microphone because this particular microphone is going to make your content so good that you're going to get all the followers and subscribers and make all the money that you think you want to make, that answer does not freaking exist. You really need to let that go. I spent the last 3 days doing a bunch of consultations talking to people about their channel progress, and getting them started. And every single one of them thought they had an inadequacy in the gear department. Go figure. I don't know if I listen. I don't feel like I should take 100% credit for this and say like I'm part of the problem, but I'm gonna just give you guys the lazy way out, and I'll say I'll take part in this, and I'll say I'm part of the problem. Okay, listen. Long before YouTube ever existed, long before there was such a thing as the internet, I was a person who bought and collected things tech. Back in the day, again, long before there was such thing as a modem, I had the computer cartridge for the Atari 2600. I had a TI Sinclair. I had a Intellivision, a ColecoVision, Atari, and then after Nintendo, Famicom, Lynx, Atari Lynx is a little handheld computer, Sega Genesis, Dreamcast. Like, I've always bought all different things to play with them because I was always interested in tech. Back then, I used to collect consoles because I was developing titles for 3DO, a thing that never made it out of the never made it out of its own dirt. But I used to develop titles for 3DO. So even during the beginning of the console wars, I had every single console. But that didn't mean if you were going to play console, you had to buy all of them. I had all of them because I was looking at it from a developer standpoint. Back when I first got into computers, my first computer being a Tandy color computer, and then later a Trash 80, and then later a VIC 20, and then actually take that back, Commodore 64, Commodore 128, VIC 20, Amiga 500, Amiga 3000, Amiga 1500. Then the Macs came through. I went through SE30, Color Classic, Mac 2, what was it called? Mac 2 GS, something of that nature. Like, that's always been me, right? I've been heavy into this. So if you come and you say, well, this guy has 3 cameras and like on the table, looking on the table right now, I have like 7 mics. That doesn't mean that you need to cop all of that to do what you got to do. Most people can start their journey with a phone and an average microphone to get started. Now, if you are a professional and you are investing in your situation and you're going to buy quality so that you come off and save quality, that's particularly fine. But let's just hit a couple of key notes from the beginning. Amateurs focus on gear. Professionals focus on techniques. They focus on the basics. A $20,000 microphone and a $10,000 mixer and a $150,000 camera and 12-person production crew will do you no good if your interview skills suck. A person in the right place at the right time with an old school Olympus cassette recorder to grab an interview from someone of merit is more valuable than the former. Let that marinate for a second. You have seen on television some celebrity who decides to create a talk show and they get about 12 shows in and they're canceled because they're a horrible interviewer. The Donahues and the Oprahs, Gayle Kings of the world, those are few and far between. Bob Costas, Katie Couric, the collection, the top 10. The top 10 is the top 10 for a reason because they're really good. Those guys would be just as good at home with an iPhone propped up on a bunch of books. Skills are far more important. And unfortunately, what happens is people get it twisted. They think that I can buy a better piece of gear and that will fix my ego, which then in turn makes them think they're going to fix their content. I still have creators to this day, creators in our circle who are so stuck on their ego and don't realize it because they're nice people. And I think a lot of people get it twisted, and I mentioned this to the members in the members only stream a little bit ago. Ego doesn't mean, hey man, I'm the best, I'm the greatest, I'm the coolest. Like, that's ego with a conceited slant. Everybody has an ego. You either have a deflated ego or you have a pumped up ego or you live somewhere in the middle. But every human being in the planet has an ego. We use that terminology to describe someone who's being an a-hole about it. But that's not the case. Everybody absolutely has one. Okay? So what happens is if you have a bruised ego because you are a person of color, because you are a female, because you're both of those things, because you're team alphabet, um, you will tend to overcompensate in other areas. Now, I did it myself, so I know for a fact this to be true. I have on my Vimeo channel a video where, actually several, me and my buddy used to record our podcast using a $150,000 Sony camera with a $23,000 lens, about 10 grand worth of lighting, and a $2,000 Sony microphone. And those videos are crappier than this. Not the quality of the picture or the pixels, but of just what we were talking about. Because at the time, even YouTube was relatively brand new. These videos are back from like 2009, 2010. I thought that you could just throw the best camera lighting and sound at a video and make it win because everybody else was shooting with this. I don't have one in my pocket, but you guys remember the flip camera? It was a little piece of plastic about yo big, and they were just whack. And so what a lot of people were doing were filming content with those things or with like a digital 8 camera. And I was just like, oh, if I bring in my pro level cameras, I will be able to blow all these people out of the water on YouTube. And yeah, it didn't really work. People aren't focused on the pixel quality per se. The problem is when you get into content creation, there's two ways to do it. People just dive in, use what they got, and go straight to creating the content about the subject matter that they know about, and they go to town. And they produce thousands and thousands and thousands of high quality videos, meaning quality of content, not quality of pixels. All right. And then what happens is they go straight to what they know how to do and help the people they know how to help. And they don't have any problems whatsoever. And next thing you know, they're sitting on 4.5 million subs and they've done the work. But then the us in this party will come in and be like, oh, their video does not look that dope. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find one. I'm looking for one real quick. Their video, might have a different look and feel, and you're just gonna say, oh, well, there is, sitting there with a crappy camera and they're putting in this work, but it would be better if they had a nicer camera or a nicer this or a nicer that. And at the end of the day, what we come to find out is a large portion of that doesn't matter, right? So I'm looking at these videos. Unfortunately, it seems like this person removed all of their stuff when they had it with the whole low budget setup, which is kind of bad, but it happened. Okay, anyway, that's because people like us got to them and told them that their original video quality was horrible, and then now they've, seem to have gotten rid of it. Here, I'll get to one. Here we go. I think I found one. So I'm going to show you this channel. Here's a video from, let's say 7 years ago. It has only 3,500 views, but it's Tom Bilyeu shooting with a basic camera in his house, just like doing his thing. But Tom is one of the biggest speakers in the world. Dude's a multi-billionaire, and he has 4.2 million subs at this point. So even somebody like Tom can make a video that only gets, quote unquote, least amount of views. But that's because people think it's all about the views, and that's not the case. People also think it's all about the gear, and it's not the case. I will stand to tell you that Penny Marshall or Ridley or Tom Scott, any one of these guys could take their iPhone and go out and shoot a better video than you with your brand new Sony FX30 or FX3 and fully kitted out with the whole crew of like 10 people. They still will outshoot you. Why? Because they know what they're doing. Again, the point is, beginners focus on the gear. Amateurs focus on the gear because they think those things are going to be what pick them up. Professionals focus on the basics. What you should be saying to yourself, and this is, okay, let me fix this. Here's the conversation. What gear do I need to get to XYZ? That's what people think. What you should be saying is there a technique I can use to get to XYZ? Skills pay the bills. At the end of the day, skills pay the bills. You could go buy the best surgical equipment in the planet, but you can't do an operation. You're not a surgeon yet. So they do it backwards. They go to school and learn all the skills first. Then they come out and start their practice and buy all the gear. A journeyman carpenter has a hammer, a power drill, and a leather belt. The company owns all the other stuff. But when they're good enough to start their own contracting company and get that GCI or GC license, then they go to the depot and buy all of their stuff that they need. So to the new people who are here and they got some stuff, you should probably make 50 videos with the crap you got before you even thinking about changing it. I did tons of content on the Logitech C910. I did tons of content on the Connectix. It was a little egg that sat in a triangle. Maybe some of the content was better than even what we're doing now because everything was new and fresh and it's all about it, So what is something that beginners should be looking at instead of a new microphone or a new camera? They should be looking at speaking skills, writing skills, like how to read a teleprompter without looking strange. I don't read scripts, but hey, some people got to. I memorize scripts, so maybe you need to practice memorization and spitting your lines. Graphic designs. I seen some thumbnails, and those color combinations is like, whoa, what are you doing? You got best gear in the world, and then you make a thumbnail that looks like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Script writing. Copywriting. There's a difference. Script writing for these videos, copywriting for how to sell whatever it is that you're going to sell. Lighting, audio, editing, planning, building a cohesive flow. Learning how to engage with the audience, learning how to build a community. These are some of the things that you can start learning for absolutely free. There is so much free education out there for skills building. I just watched a report yesterday from CNBC saying that companies are no longer looking for a person with 5,100 degrees. They're looking for people that have the actual skills to do the actual jobs. We all grew up thinking that you need to have tons of degrees in order to be able to do XYZ. Majority of that is going out the window. They're looking for actual physical, actual skills because some people collect degrees the way we collect cameras and microphones. And then they get into the real world and they can't do stuff. I almost said it. So I want to implore you right now, before something new comes up that you're going to be excited about and you're going to want to buy it, give yourself a number. My boy Bradley did this a while back. He said, before I buy another camera, I'm going to make 25 videos with the camera that I got. Maybe if you're like, oh, my picture quality doesn't look the way that I want it to look, maybe do the research on how to make XYZ camera, whatever you have, come up with better picture quality. Maybe instead of another $800 to $2,000 camera, what you really need is a $200 light. That's basically the answer. and a free peruse through the instruction manual so you can learn how to set it up properly. Maybe instead of another computer, you can figure out how to run the one you got better. Well, unless you have an Intel. If you have an Intel, please get rid of it. That's a different conversation. But don't look at, I'm always going to come here with some brand new piece of kit. I was doing that before the internet existed. But I don't think any of that kit has anything to do with the way that I create content. Now, when are upgrades appropriate? I think a professional person buys better gear when it's going to save them time. Okay, so prime example, today, for simplicity, because I was doing a bunch of moving around yesterday teaching, I just grabbed my MV7 USB, plugged it in, opened the Motive Mix app, go to town. When I go to edit this video, though, I'm going to have to spend an extra 10 minutes making the sound as cute as my SM7B. So in the long run, for the amount of content that I create, spending 10 to 20 minutes every video to fix the sound, to make it sound like the SM7B, you buy an SM7B. But if you are balling on a budget, you can buy a $50 Fine, which sound like butt, but you're going to gloss it. Okay? So let me give you a prime example. All my broke people, follow your mans. You take a cup noodle. At Hawaii, they're expensive, average $2.50, but it's like $1 something when you guys live. You're going to take a standard issue cup noodle. You're going to take out the noodle part itself. You're going to put it in the pan. You're going to put all of the powdery crap, whatever, in the pan. You're going to put the boiling water to the line. You're going to pour that into the pan. Small pot, I mean. To this small pot, once you get it to boiling, you're going to scramble an egg, pour it in while you're stirring really quickly, and you're going to take a quarter teaspoon of mayonnaise and drop it in there. If you don't have mayonnaise and you happen to make some baked or boiled chicken earlier and you got some, what they call it, smoltz chicken grease, add a little dab of that. And then you're going to add hot chili oil. That you just took that $2 and something cents cup noodle and made it banging. Trust me. A quarter teaspoon of mayonnaise, beat up an egg, put it in while it's boiling, add a little bit of smoltz, either pork or chicken, and watch the level of that ramen just go straight through the roof. You could do the exact same thing if you had no choice but to buy this bootylicious $50 Fine microphone, but then you open it up in GarageBand or Audition, and you grab a couple of plugins, you smooth that sound out, you level it off, you normalize it, you EQ it, you bust out your compressor. After you got the compressors right, you go to Dynamics tab, you pull out the Dynamics processor, drop the Dynamics processor on it, and give it a little polish and a little boomph. Maybe just the smallest little bit of reverb so it sounds fatter. You could do the same thing. Now, again, doing all of that takes time. What I'm going to do, because I want to save time, is I import, or when I go to Japan, I bring back an entire suitcase of Michelin star instant ramen. In Hawaii, these things are 3 packs for $30, or basically $10 a pop, as opposed to 2. And all I need to do to that, hot water. That's SM7B. That's a higher end microphone with a higher end mixer and things like that. Because I have the ability to, and I want to save time, I'm going to buy the better kit. It is still instant ramen. Most of you guys have no idea there's such thing as Michelin star instant ramen, but there is. If you want to know more, come to Japan with me. I will give you things. Right? This stuff is freaking incredible. Like it tastes nothing like what you grew up with the top ramen from college. It's totally different. Real deal Sapporo ramen from Sapporo does not taste anything like that package. It's a whole next level. Right? And then you have the craftsman people, the people who can take the basics and just craft everything, do a couple of hacks, if you will, to make everything better. So again, beginners, just understand you're going to get the same quality provided you have the skills to get to that quality. That means you cannot shortcut it by buying better equipment to stop you from having to get those skills. Some of the professional people have all the money, so they bought all of the top gear and have never freaking cracked the manual. They have no idea how to use it. So they're sitting on a baller studio with one of everything, and their stuff still sucks. I just saw my buddy Umi pop up in the chat. Kid's a incredible graphic designer, like super sick with it. I have a Stadler, graphic design pencil, but in my hand, this is just a pencil. This is no different than a Ticonderoga #2 pencil fight high school. But in Umi's hand, this is like $500 to $1,000 an hour. You know what I'm saying? This is still a $20 pencil, but in my hand, it's just a pencil. In Umi's hand, $500 to $1,000 an hour. He might be, Doc, you just lowered my rates. He's that sick of a designer. You know what I'm saying? Man has had apps in the Apple Store that have design awards. So I'm just saying. In my hand, I can take any car and drive the crap out of it. But I got people that have baller whips they can't drive. But anybody who's rode with me knows, I will. If y'all need to, rob a bank to buy some more gear, let me drive. I got you. Like people know I can drive. But I know folks in my building that are sitting on some of the dopest cars and can't drive. Cars that drive themselves. There's a lady in my building right now with a BMW i8, like the dopest electric car on the planet. And homegirl can't drive to save her soul. The one blessing grace is that car will park itself. So I just wanted to run that real quick, and let's just hit the points again. I wrote it down on this thing. I just want y'all to remember, amateurs focus on the gear, professionals focus on the basics. You got to know the basic skills. All the gear in the world is not going to help you, right? And instead of the conversation, what gear do I need to buy to get XYZ? You should think, is there any techniques I can use to get to XYZ before you drop another dime on gear? Don't look at me to give you the instant answer that buy this thing will solve this thing. I'm here. I will help you with the gear advice. I will tell you. But you know what chaps my ass? When people like Jeremy and other people in the chat be like, oh, Doc told me to buy this, and this, so I bought this, and this, and I still don't know how to use it. That's not funny. That's not funny. You look like the a-hole, not me. When people say, oh, Doc is doing a stream, you should hide your credit card. You're a grown-ass human being. You spend your money on what you want to. You can spend it on a new piece of gear, or you can spend it on Savannah on the main stage. That's not my problem. That is up to you. You're a grown-ass person. Why do I get to buy all the gear I got? Because I handle damn kids. Because I was smart enough to keep it suited up so I can buy what the hell I want. You know what I mean? So don't be like, oh, I made you buy this and you don't know how to use it. And hey, that's on you, Poppy. That's completely on you. Better gear is about saving time or getting to a purpose quicker. And then some of the things you probably should be polishing up on: speaking, reading into a prompter, conducting interviews, learning how to edit, graphic design, copywriting, story writing, telling a story, crafting a story, moving a story along, audience engagement. All these things, there's free education out there for all of these things. And those are what you should really be dumping on. Maybe instead of another gear, you should buy a course. Sitting here right now in 2024 and a half, talking about I still don't know how to use AI, maybe that's what you should buy next. Some gear, right? Even like, why do I buy all these damn software tools? To make my job quicker. It's not to make it better, it's to make it quicker. So I just wanted to have this. I swear this comes up every time. People are still blaming me for their idiotic choices. People are still looking at others to give them the blueprint. There is no blueprint. It's a you print. There you go. There's the gem for today. Stop looking for the freaking blueprint and craft the you print. How about that? At this point in time, YouTube's going to pop up another video I think you should watch. And they think you should watch, and I agree with them. All right, question and answer, people. Let's get after it. Let's look at the chat. Let's look at the chat. First of all, good to see you, Umi, popping up in my side eye. Exactly, Sammy. Dude, keep it suited. Kids are overrated. They're a pain in the ass. There's a lot of germs. They're not worth it. Just right. Drive the Ferrari. Don't let the Ferrari drive you. Let me go to the top. I'm shortcutting. There is Richie. Hey, Yolanda showed up, people. One time for the Ravens girl. It's happening. Boom, boom, boom. I just need to address this shit. I think minimalism is absolute fucking bullshit. So let's just start there. I think it is bullshit. I think people love to put labels on shit. There's always been people that like a plate with a steak and some peas that don't touch nothing, white plates, white everything. Like, that has always existed. I think generating this whole tribe around quote unquote minimalism is just bullshit. People are looking for labels and silos and whatever. I am definitely not that. I'm a maximalist. I enjoy what I enjoy. So you will never hear me have a conversation about minimalism and it's actual bullshit. As a matter of fact, here is a funny video from my boy Levi. Let me see if it's here. Yeah, here we go. That's why nobody knows who the Marie Kondo is right now, because it was bullshit. It was bullshit from the gate. But everybody jumped on it. Netflix built a series. Look, this failed. The decluttering shit failed. The problem with minimalism failed. Both of these failed. They're just, it was a bullshit thing in the first place. And if you believe that and you sell it and you like it, cool, knock yourself out. But I'm gonna just say it's absolute bullshit. and I at least I know that there's folks out there that agree with me. So there is that. I love all these trends. The shit like people come up with, and people build entire businesses around made up trends, which I think is even more funny. But hey, if I never hate the player, I won't even hate the game. If they did it, they're cool. Now they can take their money and they probably buy a bigger house or more space and fill it up with shit that they really wanted to buy in the first place. A lot of minimalism is based around budget constraints. So that's even another thing that makes it funny. I do see some beneficial areas, but they don't work. Like, okay, Steve Jobs wearing only black turtlenecks, same kind of jeans, 50 pairs of the same shoes. I kind of semi-agree with that. That's one thing I don't want to have to think about. I don't think that made him the smartest person or made him make or break the company. Like, people like to put that off on, oh, rich people that got all of the same suits and all, whatever. I don't think it's because of that. But I do think it's something about not having to think about it. And when you find what you find and you like what you like, then you can buy more of that. because I've definitely done that. Like I have a particular Patagonia pants that I love. I bought every single freaking color that they have, and every year they come out with 2 new colors. I buy both of those. Why? Because I love those pants. They fit exactly perfect. They're super comfortable. They're waterproof. They got lifetime warranties. Like they don't cut, they don't rip, they don't snag. Like they're the greatest. And every one of you guys have seen me, and everybody's seen me in like 50 different colors of it. Same with Adidas sweats. I got every color ever made because they fit. I like them. They're comfy, right? So I think that kind of thing makes sense. But I'm gonna take everything out of my house but a bed and a cup. Yeah, whatever, man. Go away. Let's see. Luis, trademark, boom, in the building today. Yes, everybody wants to be led by, wants to test or learn anything, trial and error for the win, and just not for the wallet. Here's the thing. Legit, everybody wants them to give them a turnkey solution that's going to make this work. This is kind of weird, and I won't blame it on franchising, but it's almost like franchising. People want to buy McDonald's in a box. Like I want to start a restaurant, so I can just go give McDonald's 150 grand and start a McDonald's and then just run with it and whatever. It's the reason why Avon and Shackley and all of those other MLMs work so good. People think you can buy a lifestyle in a box for $595 down and do 15 BV points a month. 1,500. I forgot how the circles work. It's been too long. Yes, you will look like crap with a 5K camera if you don't know how to use it. Yes, focus on you. To go back to the basics, I'm telling you, that's what it is. Yolanda, welcome. I'm glad you're here for this conversation. Please do not get caught up in the cycle. Ooh, they were talking about. Oh, there you go, Flo. Yes. Another word, self-esteem. I think they're slightly different. Actually, I know they're slightly different, but in the case that I'm talking about, we're probably talking more of the epistemic side of it. So yes, 100%. Talk about bruised ego. Woman, geek, lesbian, I can go on. There's no need. Yeah, you just got to do what you're doing. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I literally had this conversation with one of my clients yesterday, and I was like, I know why you're doing what you're doing. I know why you want what you want, but it's for you. It's not for the community. Even in our internal group in the camp, there's people asking for a feature which has nothing to do with the audience. This feature is 100% roll my nuts. I want to look cool on camera. And I'm like, that doesn't do shit for the audience. And you're making the guys distracted from the shit they need to fix so they can put in a feature that just will look cool for 5 minutes and then everybody will stop using it. Vicky says, shot my first 15 interviews on the Logitech webcam. There you go. Love it, Luis. Love it. Sammy's out here dropping stories. There you go. Buy gear when it solves a real problem that you're experiencing. Easy. Take the file, throw it at Auphonic, press a button, walk away. That's the end of it. That is the end of it. Let me see. There you go. I spent many, many hours over the years learning my skills before I started buying the gear to support what I needed. Exactly, Neil. Yes, and Neil, you are definitely on the team of let's add this cute feature for no goddamn reason. But I love you anyway. Umi knows. Umi knows. We might have had some getaways in our day. There you go, Keely. That is it. Yes, Freckle. I wish I had thought of that. It's about popping the pill instead of going to the gym. That is exactly it. That is exactly it. All right. So, good question, Sean. Let me get to that. I'm going to tell you that in a second because I definitely want to talk about that. Any new tools or software you have popped up within the last year that have wedged themselves into my creative workflow. Okay, Umi, I got you. Let's cover that. Let me just pin Sean and you real quick. Yeah, I think the close is decision fatigue. Exactly. I just want to move on. Okay, and Paul has the Auphonic. Sean, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to show you how to use the Auphonic thing before this day is over, real quick. Okay, so let me rock your question real quick. Here is my thoughts on the M4 iPad. In threads, I put this is a want, do not need category. All right. I have a fully loaded M2 iPad with 2 terabytes, and it's glorious. iPad Pro, 12.9. But because of my traveling, I would really enjoy that to be lighter. My current iPad is over 2 pounds, I think. It's heavy as sin. It is heavy as sin. Let me look it up right quick. 12.9 iPad 2 TB weight. Okay, that thing is 1.5 pounds or 685 grams, right? New 13-inch iPad weight is it's 500 something grams. If I remember that off the top of my head because it caught me. So it's also 5.1 millimeters. So those two things stood out for me. It's not about the performance. It's not about the new chip. It's not about the new camera. It's not about the new anything. For me, it's legit about the size and the weight. I really am considering getting it, but I know that I can sell my old one for like $800. So the new one's 18. I'm gonna basically spend $1,000 to shed weight. Would that make sense for a normal human being? Absolutely not. But it makes sense to me because I am legit on the road. I put in 100,000 miles a year. You guys know, from January into now, I have been on the road every other week. I am finally home. This is the longest I've been home in a long time. So for me, shedding that weight makes sense. As a matter of fact, I might even go all the way down to an 11. But instead of pulling the trigger, I decided I'm going to wait, walk into the store, put it in my hand and feel it. Because sometimes hearing what you think the difference is and then actually comparing the difference, that's different. So mine is heavy to me because I did the ignorant thing of I took that 1.5 pounds and then I added another 1 pound to it with the Magic Keyboard. And I said on Twit, if I do get a new one, I'm not buying a Magic Keyboard this time. I will just use a roll up pocket keyboard or something. It won't type as fast or as comfortable. But on the plane, I have it open. It's like this. The person in front would throw that chair back, and then my iPad goes flying because it's just still that 12.9, aka 13 is just a little too big. So I have an iPad Pro. I love it. It's fast as all sin. It works. It does everything I need it to do, but I still might swap it out because I do feel that the thinness and the weight will make a difference. But also, I think the nano screen will make a difference. That's just a bonus feature. I will check it out in real life at the store, and I'll make an executive decision. Okay, so Umi said, any new software tools that have popped up within your last year that have webbed yourself into creative workflow? Yes. I am heavy. First of all, brother, good to see you, and you should bring your ass around here so we can eat lunch. Number two, I am heavy in Adobe Express right now as opposed to Canva. I got mad at Canva when they kind of like dissed all the affiliates. Also, for me, it's been an application called Scenery. It's basically a web-oriented video editor, which is just absolutely sick, and it jams. And strangely enough, I can't believe I'm gonna say this out loud because I just started messing with it, and it's impressive, and I feel bad. It hurts my feelings This is almost like admitting to Lobster or Comic Sans. CapCut. I said it. I just started messing with CapCut Pro. It's actually pretty good. I had so many horrible things to say about that app. I always said I would never use it, but Mary Lou pulled me into the water, kicking and screaming, and CapCut is actually pretty freaking amazing. Pretty amazing. There you go. Lloyd said, after 2.5 years, I'm now getting over gas. Me personally, I'm never going to get over gas. It's what I do. It's been a large portion of me long before YouTube existed. However, I do know how to use what I use. That's not a justification. I could probably just turn off the switch and be like, okay, I'm no longer into gear, but it's just something that I'm into. I like new and unexplored. That's what it is. But yeah, I do not follow that lead. Right? Adding that magic keyboard adds a ton of weight. Yes. That keyboard is so dumb. And that thing, look, it has I have my suitcase like this. I have it in the front pocket. It'll go beep because the iPad is heavy, bro. Right? Yeah. So so Luis figured out. Yeah, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. Yes, I am leaving in 7 days. So Lou and I will stream next Saturday together. More on that later. And then I think I go to the airport right after that. Yeah. No, it's not iOS. iOS 18 is going to be dope and it's going to bring some things to the planet. But here's a rule, and I think Marquez says it a lot, but he's not the only one. A lot of people say this. Never buy a piece of gear based on what it might become. The one time I broke that rule, all right, I feel like I need a door and a crisscross pattern and I feel like forgive me, Father, I have sinned. It has been XYZ days since my last confession. All right, what you did. I bought a product based on the hype train and what possibilities there might be. And I'm finding that although I enjoy this product and I like it, I probably could have saved almost $5,000 by not buying it. $5,000? What the hell did you buy that for? You could have fed a bunch of homeless people because it's cool and it's going to be cool. And I wanted to be on the first adopters train, and that was stupid. Okay, that was stupid. I still use it every day. I still love it, but honestly, buying my Apple Vision Pro was hype training it and buying something for what it might become as opposed to what it really is. And yeah, that's stupid. And that's a rule you should never break. The last time I broke it on the expensive side. But yeah, anyway, don't do that. I did fly first class. How'd you know? I've seen the announcement. I haven't had a chance to check it yet. Listen, number one, sponsored. So let me just get that out the window. Number two, before sponsored, I have well over 60 of them. I am sure through and through. I love Rode. I love some of my higher end, like Neumann or AKG, things of that nature. But ever since I was a wee lad, I've been Shure through and through. I have like 5 Shure wireless mics in the back. I got SM. Well, not you, Sean. You're old too, but I got SM58s older than some of the people in the chat. I definitely have SM58s older than Sammy, but I mean the 30-year-olds. I got SM58s from 1982, 84 that still work and use them all the time for events and gigs and things of that nature. So yeah, Louis cool. I didn't really check into it. I was more interested in the new Shore Nexodyne. As a matter of fact, so I'm going to Shore. That's where I'm going when I leave here next Saturday. Is I'm going to Shore headquarters. I am Shore through and through. Lens gas is good though. Lens gas is good. Sammy, the reason why lens gas is good is you can rent those bad boys out. That's funny. No, the Rabbit R1, that's $200, right? So that's lunch, dude. I legit spent that yesterday on lunch. Yeah, they would give me 580 because that's Apple. Facebook Marketplace, everybody is selling like 256s and 512s for like 750. So I could be the asshole and come in and be like, I'll sell you a 2 terabyte for 760. and it automatically mine will sell quicker than everybody. So yeah, that's what I mean. Check your around a normal price. I'm curious what other sites were like. Oh my God, what's it called? Gazelle. See, Rich got me looking it up now. I want to know. Let's look up Gazelle. GAZELE used. Let's see. Can I get to that site? I think it's called Gazelle. Buygazelle.com. All right, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. Sell. Yo. Come on. Get an offer. Select your device in minutes. Sell an iPad. Boom. iPad Pritto. Boom. 2 terabyte. Yours is M1, M2. Rich, let's just do this. Let's do this one. Wi-Fi. 12.9. 2 terabiscuits. Yes. 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 Flawless. That's how I roll. See? You get more from Gazelle too. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I go to my other one, change the model. iPad Pritto, 6th gen, Wi-Fi, 2 terabiscuits. Yes. 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 Flawless. 650. So it's the same. Basically the same. Yeah. So if Gazelle or Apple will give you 650, you normally can get an extra $100 straight off the street. Because here's what I do. Also, you go to buy, Rich. This is what I do. I come over here and I hit iPad, and then I go 12.9. Hey, go away. 12.9 5th gen. Bam. And then we want Wi-Fi. And then, so look, they're going to sell the 1 terabyte model or the 2 terabyte model for $1,000. You see what I mean? So you going to ask somebody for 750, 800 is nothing. Just like hit up the Facebook Marketplace. Now, listen, I'm going to give you guys a pro tip of all pro tips. If you go to sell your device, tell them to meet you at the police station. No one's going to try to rob Rich. Rich is 6'8". But the rest of y'all, little midgets like Aubrey, like 5 feet, go tell them to meet you at the police station. Yes, it's in Chicago. The new skinny iPad with the same specs is 24. I got 18, but I'm curious. Oh, because maybe you went 2 terabytes. I think on this one I went 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes. I never even came close to using it. So, see, even Glenda was like, "I'll buy your M2 iPad for 760." And Rich has a 6th gen. Okay, let's back that up. Let's go back here. Yes, that's the answer. 6th gen, 1 terabiscuits is $929. They don't have any pricing on 2 terabiscuits, but 6th gen Wi-Fi 1 tera biscuit is $9.29. It seems like there'll only be like a $50 or $60 difference between the 6 and 7 gen. There you go. Still. I bought a cellular iPad once and I never get it again because tethering is so easy nowadays. And so, yeah, kind of stepped away from that thought process. There you go. All right, fam, let's pop into the Discord real quick and call it a day. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to show Sean how to do something before we screw this up. Okay, let me take, and we're going to go, we're going to do this. Now, when I press this recording, Sean, the audio for the stream will cut off. It's just the way this works, okay? But nobody freak out and say, I can't hear you. Something about when you do this, it's just what it does. So let me do this recording. And let me check where I'm at. And I'm going to leave auto level, blah, blah, blah. I will turn this off just to make it better. Wow. Off. Oh, you know what? You did it dumb. All you had to do was take reverb on output off. I could leave that there. Leave my tone curve exactly where I have it. Popper stopper, high fast off, LEDs on. Okay, good. Now we're gravy. My voice is a little bit jacked, so let me. You guys, Umi is my homeboy. Definitely, absolutely mental, so we get along perfectly fine. We're both Virgos. And in Japanese, Umi means beach. So I remember I said, John, is that what you picked Umi for? And he goes, nah, it's under Martian influence. I was like, we're friends right there. It was automatic. We've been friends ever since. I feel like it's going on. It's actually been more than 10 years now. It's been about since 2012. Anyway, let's go. Here we go. Breathing in. Let me just think of something to say. I know what I do. I'll read my recap notes. One thing to note when talking about gear is amateurs are focused on gears. Professionals are focused on the basics, those skills, those techniques that you use in order to get the best reactions. So instead of asking yourself, what gear do I need to get XYZ done? You should ask yourself, is there any techniques I can use to get to XYZ? Just remember this, upgrade your skills. Skills pay the bills. Buying better gear is about saving time, saving effort. It's not necessarily automatically going to mean some sort of better quality. So look into upgrading your skills before you think about upgrading your gear. Okay, so now this recording is saved. I'm going to say okay. I'm really curious if that actually passed through. The last time I tried this, it died. And I didn't check where it saved the file. He's so dumb. There it is, Shore Motive Library. Okay, so you can copy that. And then Command-Shift-G, paste, open. That's today, 5/11. Amateurs are focused on gears. Professionals are focused on the basics, those skills, those techniques that you use in order to get the best reactions. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and against my judgment, I'm going to place it right here on the desktop. Okay, now what we finna do, we're going to come back here to the old browser of Arc, and we're going to go to auphonic.com. AUPHONIC.com. Bingo. Bingo. We're going to log it in. Yo, go away. Man, my watch popped up and then it did something else. Hold on. Okay, we're going to log in. It's coming back. I just realized that me being the ever cleaning stuff up as you go, if you close this window, it kills the app. If you kill the app, it kills the sound out. So you can never close this window. I need to tell them to add are you sure you want to close this? So yeah, let me not close this app. It's just a habit for me wanting to clean the screen that I close the app. Let me move that out of my way and now we can come back. So anyway, let me go back just in case Sean didn't see what I did. I'm gonna go to here. Man, everybody, I know. Okay, so anyway, I log in to Alphonic. It goes here. I just drag the file, I pick it up, I drop it on. Okay, I already did that. So here's here. So let's go to edit. And then normally I come in here and I put information, but all we're concerned about is I'm going to set this to Wave 16-bit. That's what I normally do. And then you can rename it if you want. You can do all kind of myriad things. You can add different output files if you need another output file if you want, right? Right now I don't need that. I'm just going to do the wave. And then I don't have to touch anything. This is legit ready to go, but I'm going to just tell you what they are in case you like pressing buttons. Adaptive leveler lets me pick my leveler and set my compressor to auto. Let's say I wanted to sound a certain way, I can crank the compressor up. Okay. And then under my EQ, I can do adaptive EQ. It says, do I need a high pass filter? On this particular microphone, maybe SM7B never needs a high pass filter. It's already bass, but I'll just leave it that. And then your normal loudness normalization, I set it for -16. It says right there, podcast and mobile. And then I adjust for dialogue loudness. And then you can say remove any static noises like Paul's fan using a stupid crisp. You can do dynamic noises, keep speech, music, everything else, or just speech isolation. This is speech, so I'm gonna say speech isolation. Automatic reduction amount, I'll let it think, and then I'll tell it to remove the breathing. That's it, right? You can save this as a preset. So let's save this as a preset. And let's call it Spark. You get it? Spark, as in Sean Park. All right. So we save the preset and then start the production. And then go. Twirl, twirl, twirl. All right. There is the audio. The before and after looks pretty good, but let's just download it. Actually, do I have this set so you can hear this? Let me try play this. One thing to know when talking about gear is amateurs are focused on gear, professionals are focused on the basics, those skills, those techniques that you use in order to get the best reactions. So instead of asking yourself, what gear do I need to get XYZ done? You should ask yourself, is there any techniques I can use to get to XYZ? Just remember this, upgrade your skills. Skills pay the bills. Buying better gear is about saving time, saving effort, is not necessarily automatically going to mean some sort of better quality. There you go. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. Sure as grits as groceries. If you want to like go back and make any changes, you can, but like it's obvious as all get. So simply, without knowing how to do anything, you could just throw it at Alphonic. Alphonic will make it do that damn thing. Now, I know there's some people in the group that's going to be like, I don't want to buy that. Okay, cool. Let's do this. So let's do this. Bingo. We're going to drag the same file there. I always use 16. YouTube will automatically push it to 14 by themselves. I always use 16. It's a more versatile file. All right, so let's hear the Adobe version. Let's turn it off. One thing to know when talking about gear is amateurs are focused on gear, professionals are focused on the basics, those skills, those techniques that you use in order to get the best reactions. So instead that was dumb. Asking yourself, what gear do I need to get XYZ done? You should ask yourself, is there any techniques I can use to get to XYZ? Just remember this, upgrade your skills. Skills pay the bills. Buying better gear is about saving time, saving effort, is not necessarily automatically going to mean some sort of better quality. So the Adobe one is free. It does not sound anywhere near as good, but knock yourself out. You can do the Adobe one for absolutely free. The Alphonic one is cheap, so I use Alphonic. Now, I actually will tweak my audio before even sending it to Alphonic, but that's just me. You do a UA. I'm just saying you want the simplest way without going into Audition and blessing it with Audition, just throw it at Alphonic. But if it was me, I'm going to throw it in Audition. I'm going to run my Audition stack on it, clean it up, make it look gravy. So there it is. That's how you do it. It's easy. Easy peasy, cover greasy. It will never wholly sound like this. It lacks... They have different colors. That's not helpful. That's not helpful. Yes, they do, Kevin. Okay, let's start with the capsule is different. Before we get to color and nerd terms. We can't really see that one. Hold on. Colors, colors, colors. Why would you do that, Mark? Mark, why would you do that? You know what happens. All right, there we go. This capsule is completely different from this capsule. This capsule is bigger. Can you see that? It's in there. Trying to get a good light. There you go. This capsule is way bigger. It's about 20% bigger. I'd have to take this whole screen off in order to let you see, but this capsule is way bigger. The reason why it rejects noise better is this capsule, when it's screwed down, puts the microphone right here. The microphone's here. That's up there, right? There is a huge difference in your proximity, right? So this is 450 millimeters away, and we haven't even added on a dock pop yet. The X actually takes it further. So if I were to guess, width is about right there. Let me see. This is a weird test. Never mind. Okay, that's 0. Don't move the hand. I'm moving you to 700 millimeters away from the capsule using a dock pop. Okay? So you're never going to get this to sound wholly like this, but you could get it close. Also, inside here, the level of padding and weight that's in here that makes it so that all extra 2Ps, Rich. Sorry, I had to do 2Ps. I didn't want to, but I had to. Thank you, though. I appreciate you, Poppy. Yeah, the level of cushioning and padding and sound deadening that's in there is what you're paying for. Okay, the capsule difference maybe changed the price by $50, but the other $100 is literally built into the noise suppression, some of the dynamics in the actual mic itself. So yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. So this is, again, is great, but this is something I keep yelling at Paul for. So I'm gonna keep yelling at y'all too. 250, 400. This 250 is glorious. It's delicious. But if you run this for 4 years and you run Alphonic for 4 years, let me see. I don't do the monthly. I buy what do you call it? I buy hours and fill it up. But I buy my hours at $100 a block. So even if you were to copy me and buy a 100-hour block of Alphonic, then you at $350 to take this microphone to try to make it sound like this. So you spend $50 more and just get this. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do understand that requires an interface, and that kind of changes the conversation a little bit, but I already have an interface. I got more interfaces. I got interfaces older than YouTube. I got an Allen and Heath Z12X. That mixer is 15 years old. It's made a whole bunch of folks dance. So, yeah, even this on a $50 box will sound better. Sorry, the SM7B on a $50 USB interface will always still sound better than an MV7. And I love my MV7. I think it's a dope microphone, but just understand what the difference is and what you're getting, what you're paying for. Right? So if you're doing it in pounds, Mark, that's even more, right? Or yeah. You don't need a Rodecaster. This is where we get why so many people are having trouble is a whole bunch of people that were going to be in a studio by themselves. Watch me, Alec, Diana, India, Paul, Luis, and they all bought Rodecaster Pros. Keely is the only one that had enough common sense to be like, I'm going to be in this house by myself. I do not need a Rodecaster Pro. And she sent it back. A whole bunch of people bought Rodecaster Pros to stream by themselves. That was just dumb. Don't press that button. Like, yeah, that's funny. And that's why every time there's something coming up and they're like, oh, a new feature and it's causing echo, the app doesn't know how to cause echo. Ecamm don't, Restream don't, StreamYard don't, OBS don't. The app does not know how to generate echo. Actually, OBS, I believe, has an echo button. But a frying pan does not know how to burn a steak. A dumbass chef does. That's going to be my new thing. Frying pan does not know how to burn a steak. Luis knows how to burn a steak, but the frying pan don't. Actually, where we burn, Luis? We burn hot dogs. I forgot. Oh, no, we burned the quesadilla. That's what it was. We were making a quesadilla, and Aiden started being Aiden, and then you burned the quesadilla. That's what it is. I think. I'm old. Yeah, see, Keely was the only one that had enough common sense to get rid of it. Because you're going to be by yourself, you don't need it. There's thousands of interfaces on the planet that have noise reduction and compressor and all the other things built in. The one thing that Rodecaster brought to the table better than everything that was on the planet is its ability to set up a mix minus was way easier. So the simplicity of it is fine. It was the breakfast quesadilla. Okay, I was right. I got it. Yes. Yeah. And again, this makes sense, right? If you're helping folks, you teaching folks, you're building a course around it, all of the boom. that was Luis too. No, I'm joking. Oh, that was you, actually. But yeah, anyway, it's funny, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier, right? You know, like the whole gear situation, like buying shit and not knowing how to use it, and then being mad at the world. It's like, nah, pimp, that's on you, gangster. That's legit on you. You definitely don't need a Rodecaster Pro to teach people how to cut vinyl. There's that. Anyway, let's go to the Discord. Let's go hang out. I got all the smoke. You know what it is, L. You know what it is. Anyway, let's pop in the Discord. I'll see you guys in a minute. Don't forget Tuesday. We'll be back. Let's do it again. I'm gonna put back my regular stuff. Man, my studio is a mess right now. I kind of need it. My brain will not let me. I have to clean it before I leave for Chicago. And oh my God, I was just getting everything the way I want. I still haven't stopped moving long enough to reconfigure the studio the way I want to reconfigure it. But yeah, pop in the Discord. If you about that life, come through. If you're not about that life, cool. Stay your ass out. It's all we cool. We'll be friends. I'll be back Tuesday. We're gonna do Q&A on Tuesday. And Yolanda, did you find your way into the Discord? I think so. You're in there. All right. I'm pressing this button.
City of mine, how I love the city of mine. It never gets me down.